What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pat Dan Show. We're on episode 9. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined today, as usual, by the man, Dan Rourke. How we doing tonight, Dan?
To sum it up, bro, 20 minutes ago, I got another Twitter safety report email. So
That sums up tonight pretty damn well, if I'm being honest with
you.
Listen, before we get into anything, I guess we could kind of tell the chat, spam those L's. Spam those L's in the chat because that's exactly what the Yankees deserve tonight. Bro, a brutal loss at the hands of the Boston Red Sox. Bro, like you said, an hour ago, the Yankees had what? A 3-1 lead. We were kind of looking at winning the first game in Boston. A 5-game win streak the Yankees would have been on. And now we're looking at yet another one of those debilitating losses, bro. That's kind of like the only way to describe it. It seems like it's the story of the Yankee season, right? Every time they take one step forward, they followed up with 2 steps back. And that's exactly what happened tonight.
Facts, bro. But let me just say one more thing on the misery thing. You know what is the worst thing for me? Because you know how I do like the Yankees Avenue post games on Instagram?
Yeah.
Well, like I pre-saved them, right? So I'm just going through my camera roll and like I see like, 35 minutes ago or whatever, I saved a nice 3-1 victory card. And it's just like, oh, bro, like, it's the worst thing to look at. God, no. But
it's so, but
yeah, man. Like, and we were talking about this a little bit before the show. Like, we would have rather just taken a 15-0 loss than losses like this. Now, let me get out of here now and say that I'm not going to be irrational and say the season's over, but I will say this: unless the Yankees don't win the next 3 games, or unless the Yankees win the next 3 games, I'm giving up on the division. I can't keep holding out hope for the division, but this team I'm hoping can still maybe get a wild card spot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, before we get into anything, I say we just do attendance / roll call. Listen, even though tonight sucks, appreciate you all for stopping by. We got a bunch of people in the chat, so we're going to try to rattle off some names. Shout out to THG Mod of the Century. We got Jonathan, Jose, Dale. We got Liam, CC Art. I wonder if he draws art of CC. We got Keisha, Lori, Blake, Amy. We got Lip Music, Elliot, Elite Assassin. Who else? We got Heidi, Troy. Appreciate you all for stopping by. I know I can't name everybody, but we really do appreciate you all. But Dan, I guess like it's so unfortunate
so
because
miserable. Like
it's miserable, but also at the same time, it's like a therapy session, right? Because it's so strange, like how sometimes like the narrative about the Yankees changes just about every single time we come on here, right? On Monday we came on. The off days are usually like very good vibes no matter what, right? Even if it's a day after a brutal loss, it's kind of like not fresh in our minds anymore. But when we come on here after either a brutal loss or a great victory, the vibe is so much different. So the storyline that I wanted to go with today, that we are going to be touching on a little bit, is what the Yankees need to do at the trade deadline. Now, whether if that's buying or selling or standing pat, I have no idea what they need to do. But before we get into that, I think that we should kind of address tonight's game. But before we do that, I want to pull up this dono here from Amy.
Oh my God. But that's why I smirked a little bit, yo.
$2 dono for Amy. She says, Dan, you look like Nick Nelson. Have you heard that?
Did you see my tweet yesterday?
No,
it's like a thing. It's like an inside joke or whatever, I guess, at this point. Because, yes, I've gotten that before. And there's actually people have told me this, and I think this is somewhat accurate, not going to lie, that I'm a morph of 3 people, right? Ready? And I think you'll agree with this. 1, Nick Nelson. 2, I get Clint Frazier, I guess, because the hair. And 3, Sam Darnold. Mix those three people into one. I guess I kind of look like them. But anyways, yesterday, when Nick Nelson came in and he kind of crapped the bed, I tweeted out, I was like, next person that says I look like Nick Nelson is getting blocked. And then, of course, me saying that just gets everybody to say that.
And you know you blocked no one. You literally blocked no one.
No, I wouldn't, because there are actually all cool people that are saying that.
Sure.
True.
But not so family fun vision, bro. We got Bo Bichette and Nick Nelson in the house. Let's go, bro.
Okay, no offense to Nick Nelson, but at least your comparison is like attractive, like a good-looking dude.
Oh, so you think I'm attractive? Thanks, Dan. I
do.
Nick Nelson's a very attractive man. Okay, before we get way off topic here, the Yankees game tonight. I'm gonna be honest, like up until I would say the 7th, 8th inning, this was a really boring game. Like especially with the rain delay, it was 1-0 for majority of the game. The Yankees really couldn't piece any hits together.
Even the one run was boring. It was an RBI ground out. Like it was not a fun game.
And then they take a 3-1 lead. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. After that hit by Stanton, I thought this game was just about over. And then they bring in Luis Cessa for the 8th. He looks absolutely dominant. If I'm being honest with you, Dan, I think that I would probably bring Cessa back in for the 9th. Just like the way that he was looking, he had to have thrown less than 10 pitches. And with the way the bullpen's been acting lately, Chapman hasn't been too reliable. Green hasn't been too reliable. Britton hasn't been too reliable. Why not just ride the hot hand in Cessa and just see what he could give you in the 9th? Like, bro, you could even have Green warming just in case Cessa kind of just pisses the bed. But I think that's the move that I would have made there.
I disagree with that last part. But yeah, no, I mean, it's not a bad idea to keep in Cessa.
5 pitches, by the way.
I think the reason I would have kept in Cessa is not that like going to Green is the wrong move, because I mean, like Chad Green's really good. Like you don't expect him to blow games. And I think John Boy tweeted this out. Like he's out of the 40 appearances he's had this year, he's only given the lead in like 5 of them. So I mean, that's still a pretty good percentage, right? But I mean, we know how taxed the bullpen is. When Luis Cessa throws 5 pitches, like you're doing, even on the post game tonight, talking about how, you know, he wants to reserve certain guys because they've been used so much. Okay, so why not keep the guy that went threw only 5 pitches in for another inning, who he looked very good, clearly, if he only threw 5 pitches. So, I mean, from that aspect, yeah. But from the aspect of like Chad Green, like even after that, like he struck out the first batter. Like he didn't look terrible at first, you know, and just things unravel. What, how did it go? Was it a walk? I forget what it was. It was a strikeout. Was it a walk? Did they get hits? I think it was a couple opposite field base hits and then that 2-run double.
All I remember is the double by Kike Hernandez. That's the only thing that's sticking in my mind here.
Without a doubt, I mean, horrible performance by Chad Green, but like, you know, hindsight's 2020 with that. It's just, you're right. Like, why not just keep in Cessa if he only threw 5 pitches?
But also, bro, I think it's like a case of the Yankees not having faith in Luis Cessa, like no matter what. And I've said this, bro, you know, I'm a huge Luis Cessa guy, and I think he's severely underrated, not only by the fan base, but by the Yankees organization as a whole. He's a guy who I would love to see in like some more high leverage spots. And then when he does, bro, he pitches the 8th inning with 5 pitches. I think that it's stupid. The definition of stupid not to bring the dude back out for the 9th. I mean, that's the logical decision. The only way I wouldn't bring him back out is if you have a surefire thing coming out of the bullpen for the 9th. So now let's say like this is the beginning of May and Chapman is the best reliever in baseball like he was then probably I take out Cessa for Chapman at that place. But now when you don't necessarily have like that go-to arm to go to, there's no excuses of taking out Cessa there. You just can't. It's not like Chad Green is like first half Chapman. You know what I mean? And you know Chad Green's going to come in and he's going to strike the guys out easily and you're going to win the ball game. It's not like that. So then I think there's kind of no reasoning behind taking out Cessa. But
yeah, no, I mean, once again, my feeling on not bringing Cessa back out, it has nothing to do with Chad Green. Like I still have faith in Chad Green. Like I will put him out there tomorrow, not tomorrow because of pitch count, but you know what I mean? Like I still have faith in Chad Green. It's just a matter of the 5 pitch count with Luis Cessa. And it's not like this is 2017 Luis Cessa. Like I think they mentioned, I forget the exact stat was on the Yes broadcast, but like since the beginning of last year, his ERA is like hovering right around 3, which is like the upper tier of relievers in that span. Like it's been a good while now where Luis Cessa has been a reliable arm. So it's not like he's just like some bum that you're going to try to luck another inning out of. Like he's a solid arm that you, I mean, it sucks to say this, and I feel like we kind of are alluding to this, but like if Luis Cessa pitches that 9th inning, like we're probably much happier right now when we're talking about a 3-1 victory, you know.
Bro,
so
and not only that,
it just
like,
sucks. It sucks. Like
hindsight
is 2020, but I'm not gonna get on Boone for that. I'll get on Boone more so for putting in Brooks Kriske when
I was just gonna,
you know, I know you probably were, but you know, like when you warm up a reliever, like it's essentially the same thing as putting them in terms of like getting them, like using them a certain day, right? So Justin Wilson, he got up today, he warmed up, you essentially in a way used him. Why not just start the inning with Justin Wilson? Now I'm not a freaking Justin Wilson fanboy by any means, but over Brooks Kriske, like come on.
Bro, how many wild pitches did he throw? I think
that was a laughable performance. That was like who's that guy from the Cardinals in like 2000? Was that Rick Ankiel, the guy that like turned position player because he got the yips?
Yeah.
Like, and bro, and Boone brought it up in the post. I know he's just trying to defend his guy like he always does, and he was like, "Oh well, Kriske was in like a similar situation yesterday." But like, dude, like you're in Fenway Park. Like the coin flip right there goes to Wilson just for the fact that he's a veteran. Kriske has what, like maybe 15 to 20 innings? I'm not sure under his career. You know, so like just from that aspect alone, why not go to Wilson if you were going to get him up anyways? Like if you see if Kriske is the only guy you have available, okay, you got to do what you got to do. But when you're willing to put up, get Justin Wilson up anyways, why not just start the inning with him?
No, I agree 1,000%. And also, like I'm not sure about the numbers, but off the top of my head, as far as I remember, I mean, Justin Wilson hasn't been that bad in his most recent appearances. Like he's definitely been better than like Brooks Kriske would have been in that situation.
Yeah.
Bro, the fact that we went into that 10th inning with a 1-run lead and like knowing that we had Brooks Kriske coming into the game, I wasn't even happy. Like, bro, after Brett Gardner got that sacrifice fly, and the Yankees took that 1-run lead, bro, I kind of knew that it was over in the opposite direction just because the Yankees were not going to be tacking on any more runs. You weren't winning that game with a 1-run lead. You just weren't, especially knowing that you had Brooks Kriske coming in for the 10th inning, bro. Sickening. Absolutely sickening.
Bro, did you see my tweet? Because I literally said something basically like that. I was like, once Gardy hit that sac fly, I tweeted, I was like, all right, I'll pretend like that 1-run lead is enough for now. Because we know it's not. You know, like it's almost like the 1-run lead, I felt like, okay, that'll at least buy us maybe into the next inning. Because you know Boston's at least going to tie it, right? And dude, let's talk into the decision making even further. And Paul O'Neill, he brought it up. Why not? Because Kriske had to face the minimum. And at that point, even though the inning felt like it was an hour long, he only faced one batter, and you had to face 3. Why not just intentionally walk the next 2 because you have Wilson up, and then just take your chances, bring Wilson in with the force at any base, and just see what happens. Like, they're lucky. I'm surprised the game didn't end on a walk-off wild pitch the way Kriske was looking. So at that point, like, what good does it do to keep Kriske in that game? Like, no chance if you keep Kriske in. Are you coming away with a victory? Like, you're losing the inning. So why not just intentionally walk the next 2 and bring in Wilson?
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like, why are you even pitching to Renfroe in that situation with first and second base open? Bro, you had the winning run at third base. Like, why are you even pitching to this guy? Like, I don't know. All I know is that the Yankees had a brutal loss tonight. Just terrible all around. It's kind of like how the Yankee season is gone. They start to go on a little bit of a hot streak, and then a huge wave hits them from behind.
And let me say one more thing. Only because I'm not sure how much we're going to go into like the bullpen as a whole here. But like, as a whole, the bullpen, like, this has been a big part, like really the main portion of our struggles over the last month. Like, dude, like the outlook on the way the last, like, I don't know, 30, 35, 40 games has gone. It's totally different if the bullpen does their job. Like, what have there been? Like probably 7, 8 blown saves or just like blown leads over the last month. Bro, cut that in half and the situation's looking totally different. Not just in the wild card, but in the AL East against Boston alone. I mean, I think we've already blown before this game. We've blown 1 or 2 games against them late because of the bullpen.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
But I want to bring up a couple donos here. We got a couple big donos. Unfortunately, I can't bring up Leanna's on the screen because it's a little bit too far behind because everyone in the chat is counting to 100 for some reason. I don't know what the deal is about that.
I know why. Because I think I know why. It's because I said something like, how many career innings does Brooks Kriske have?
No, they do this often. No, this is.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because they started saying like he has 9 innings, and then somebody goes 10, 11, 12, 13. That's funny as hell, bro. I didn't know that was a thing in the chat.
They love counting. But shout out to Leanna with a $5 dono. She says, Dan, you look like Nick Nelson and Lourdes Gurriel. Also, though the loss hurts, I still believe in our team. It doesn't hurt as much as the others. I kind of agree.
Lourdes Gurriel?
Yeah.
I look like Lourdes Gurriel. Am I thinking of somebody different?
No, the dude on the Blue Jays. I think it's the hair.
Oh, okay. I mean, not that he's an ugly dude or nothing. I just don't think we resemble each other that much.
No, yeah. Nick Nelson, a little bit like Yuli, too. You look like the Gurriel brothers.
I mean, maybe with the hair. Oh, I lied. Oh, my God. I told my first lie in the show, Pat. I said last time I was going to come to this show with a haircut. I didn't get a haircut.
I think your hair looks fine. Like, don't let the people get to you. Don't let them get to you.
You know what? Want to know why it's looking fine? I started putting this back in it again. It's like mousse. Flawless curls.
Beautiful, I guess. Listen, shout out to Ruben with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Ruben. He says, I missed part of the game. Please tell me not just let Monty finish the inning and get him to 110 pitches, given how limited our bullpen is. Free Monty. How many innings? Monty went 6 innings tonight, didn't he? He came back out after the rain delay as well.
2/3, I believe.
Okay.
5 2/3. Of course, I'm right. Do
you know what his pitch count was?
His pitch count was 83 pitches. He went 5 2/3, 3 hits, no runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. And hey, while I'm on the topic of it, he was relieved by what's his name? Romano. His first name. What's his first name?
Oh, Sal. Yeah.
Sal Romano, which somebody put it on Twitter, and it's so true. That is the most like New York Italian WFAN caller name out there.
No, hey, bro, Sal Romano from Sayate calling in about
for real. Hey, fire Aaron Boone. But like, he is apparently lifelong Yankee fan, like diehard, and he came in Yankee debut, and he 2 of a third inning scoreless, I think it was, something like that. So
no, yeah, literally.
Props to him.
Shout out to Sal Romano. Also Rockandell Matanzas' number as well. That 68 jersey might come to use real soon. But shout out to Kyle Zellens. I hope that's how you pronounce your last name. With the $20 dono. Appreciate you, Kyle. Absolute legend. Bro, round of applause to Kyle. You're an absolute G. He says Boone has to go, Pat. I agree. 1,000. Bro, Dan, I think you might be on the same page with me on this one. But I don't care like what the excuses are at the end of the season between the COVID and the players underperforming and the poor roster construction. Aaron Boone has to go regardless of what happens to this Yankees team this year. I don't care if they make it to the World Series. I need Aaron Boone on the next flight back to wherever the hell he's from. I'm sick of him, bro. And it's not even to the point where I can't even look at you seriously because you look like you're contemplating life. But like it's getting to the point where it's like, bro, how many Boone-headed decisions can we see this dude make until he's no longer the manager of the biggest franchise in sports?
Did you just do that on purpose?
Boone-headed?
Is that a thing? Boone-headed. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you meant to say boneheaded, but yeah, I mean, listen, bro, I said like officially declared that Boone should be fired a couple weeks ago. Now, I mean, listen, if they make the playoffs, like he's coming back. I feel like if they miss the playoffs, I still do think that he's gonna get fired or like not be brought back. But like I said on the last show, I do see a world where Boone might still be brought back because of the things that you mentioned, like, oh, the COVID excuses and like players underperforming isn't his fault, like bullpen blowing leads, like, oh, he technically made the right decision. It just didn't work out, like, because a Boone apologist tonight could argue, and in a sense, that's kind of what I was doing before in defense of Chad Green. Is like, Chad Green is still supposed to get those 3 outs. Like, that's technically not Boone's fault that Green blew it, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch you can go into about Boone. If the Yankees don't make the playoffs,
that's a whole topic for another day.
I know, and I don't even want to get into it because I feel like we get into it so much. But overall, like, if the Yankees don't make the playoffs, Aaron Boone should not be brought back, and that is my stance on it.
Can you imagine if they do, though? Bro, I would vomit.
I could see it. No, I could see it. I could see it, bro. I really could. Just lately, I'm getting the vibe. Yeah, I'm not sure if you ever noticed, but I usually like it's like an ADHD thing, So I usually have a baseball, but bro, I have like 4 or 5 baseballs that like one is at each one of my friend's house, bro. Like I've lost them all, so now I'm down to a tennis ball.
I want to bring up this comment right here from Sophia. This one actually has me dying inside. She says, "Dan, that brand had a recall because people's hair started falling out."
Bro, that's actually true. Some chick told me that, and like it's actually legit. Like I saw it on the website and everything, but like my family has like terrific hair, if you can't tell. But no, more so in the terms of like
what?
No, more so like we don't like lose, like we don't go bald. Like my dad is like 60 something. He still has like a full head of hair. Like, so as for losing my hair, I'm not worried about that, but I appreciate her concern because she is speaking facts.
There you go. Also, listen, shout out to Juan Santiago with the $20 dono. Appreciate you so much, Juan. Bro, killing it with the donos tonight.
I would say, bro, like
cheering us up from a brutal loss.
Are you getting me a bagel shop or something, bro? Like,
I might have to get you a bagel, home fries with strawberry cream cheese. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I told you, I'm not a good breakfast guy.
Yeah, no, we know that. We're well aware. But Juan says, bad loss, but at least we got the Pat and Dan show to look forward to. Let's go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I told you this before we went live tonight. I'm like, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm a little bit disappointed from tonight's loss, but I'm just so excited to get on live that I think it's just going to like diminish the sorrows just a wee bit.
Bro, that's exactly what happened. Bro, do you remember like when you first called me? Like, how bad did I sound?
No,
like, I was so down in the dumps. But
I was thinking about hitting up Twitter.
And I said to you though, I'm like very bummed about the loss, but I'm excited about coming on the show because in general, even on like we're off the air, bro. When I'm talking to you, Pat, I feel happier, and that's how I'm feeling right now, bro. Talking to you and all of you guys.
Look at that. I know. Look at that.
I know.
But listen, let's get into another Yankees topic here before we get too off track about
and
hair and everything.
And Dan, how much I love you, but go on.
Had to make it weird, didn't you? Going into the Yankees lineup today, bro, I'm gonna be honest. Like it was such a weird feeling because the whole idea of last Monday's episode, not last Monday, this Monday, however you want to word it, was like the next man up mentality 2.0, and we were like iffy about it. We didn't know how to feel, like whether or not super optimistic or not. But going into tonight's game, I looked at a lineup with like Rob Brantley, Greg Allen, Tyler Wade, and I was still fairly confident in the production that we were gonna get. And I don't want to say like I'm giving up on them just yet, but what analytics point you in the direction to say that Brett Gardner is your 2-hitter? Like, please let me know. I know the Yankees are going through like some brutal like COVID issues and injury list issues, but what analytics point you in the direction of putting this dude in the 2-hole in the worst season of his career? Please let me know.
I think this says a lot of things. And I think it might be that like the front office doesn't control this lineup. I think it confirms it because this is like the total opposite of what analytics think. Like your 2-hole hitter is theoretically, outside of the leadoff spot where your best hitter should go. And Brett Gardner is probably, I guess not in this lineup, but he's one of the worst hitters in the Yankees lineup. What should probably happen is Stanton would be the number 2-hole hitter, like an analytic based lineup. So I think Boone, I guess it was his decision. As for why he did it, I couldn't tell you. But
that's when there's no analytics that point in that direction.
No, they don't. But overall, like the lineup, like I know we've been dealing with some crap, but like Rob Brantley hitting 6, like does that?
I don't get it.
Does that have to happen? Like I don't know. And listen, how about? I mean, a lot of this was Brooks Krinsky's fault, but like I wasn't too happy with Brantley's performance behind the plate today. I didn't think he was anything special.
Bro, but also it's like I see his at-bats, and like they actually make me sick. Like I think I would look more comfortable at the plate than Rob Brantley does. It looks like, I know he had a double the other day, right? But I feel like it just looks like there's no effort at the plate whatsoever.
I would honestly be cool. Like I feel like with the shape our lineup is in, like Brett Gardner should be like the 6-hole hitter. That you could kind of make sense out of in a way with how bad things are. And let me just say this. As for like this, the next man up 2.0 squad, like I feel like, and I was feeling this way even before today, like people are getting a little bit too caught up into this. Like there's one and a half aspects of the next man up 2.0 that I'm excited about. Really the main one is Greg Allen. I think he's here to stay.
Yeah.
With the Castro being out, I think he's a piece that's going to be here for a while, and he's going to be our center fielder until we do hopefully get an outfielder. And then Estevan Florial, he's exciting, has energy. He's shown some good. Somebody said Dan looks so depressed. Dan, cut your hair. Okay, but anyways, Florial, he actually made some mistakes. Florial made some mistakes today, by the way, particularly being that fly ball in center field, the one that tied the game to sac fly. Was that in the 9th? Dude, he did not set up right for that ball at all. Like he basically set himself up for failure. Now it was a good throw, which almost makes it more frustrating to me because it's like, yeah, you're definitely capable of a good throw. That's great and all, but like, it's like little league stuff, bro. Like you're playing MLB The Show. Like just set yourself up to have momentum going towards home plate or towards wherever you're throwing. So that way you have a little bit more on your ball. You know what I'm saying? You need to have that.
But that's what I don't get. It's like, this isn't even the first time. I feel like since we've seen Florial come up a couple days ago, like he just doesn't look comfortable in center field, like whatsoever. And we're talking about a dude who like is a center fielder. It's not like we're just like throwing, I don't know, like Trey Ambergy, for example, out there and kind of just being like figure center field out or like Hoy-Jun Park. Like we're talking about a dude who's come up as a center fielder and like was expected to be the Yankees center fielder for years to come. And it seems like he just doesn't know how to play. I don't get it.
I'd understand it if you didn't have a lineup that has Brett Gardner and Greg Allen in it. Like one of them two.
I want to see Greg Allen in center field because like you said,
I think I'll say about this. I'm not a Brett Gardner, like I guess I kind of am in some ways when I'm with you, but like with Brett Gardner, like I will give him some props in some regard of he should be playing center field. I feel like when he's in the lineup, like when Aaron Hicks isn't around, like I feel like Brett Gardner should still be your center fielder, just from like a veteran standpoint. And like, now, I mean, I guess the throw home isn't the good argument to use Brett Gardner in because he wouldn't have even probably would have like 3-hopped it there, But like just from like knowing what to do in certain situations, kind of being like that captain of the outfield, like that's why I'd want Brett Gardner in center field over like Florial or Allen. But yeah, no, Florial, I don't think he should be playing center.
Fair.
Which his days are numbered, by the way. I think he's gone once. I don't say gone.
I agree, and it's a
shame
I think
because
once
like Judge comes back, he's down.
He's getting like so many like little opportunities, and it seems like he's just never able to make the most of it. But like you said about Greg Allen, I think once the Yankees outfield kind of does get back to full health, I think that Greg Allen should be the starting center fielder. I'm just throwing that one out there. Listen, shout out to Ruben with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Ruben. He says, I'm getting sick of these pitchers not getting to 100 pitches. That stunts their ability to pitch deep. Old school aces have the importance of 100 plus. Do you know how many pitches Monty went tonight?
He went 83, remember? But I know what he's saying. Like, I feel that way too, but like, I hope you're not saying that like in regards to Monty, because like you can't really bring him up as an example tonight. Because if he doesn't go, Monty's gone, he'll go around 100 pitches. It's
but
just
also, the rain delay.
That's exactly that's the only thing I'm saying is because of the rain delay. Like, it's a unfair circumstance. But yeah, no, I mean, listen, like how many pitchers? It really goes down to like it comes down to how analytics don't want many pitchers going through the third time through the order, right? So like I feel like on our current staff, obviously Cole will go to 100, Monty will go to 100. And then like Tyone, I feel like we don't see go to 100 all that much. Herman, at this rate, he hardly gets past the fifth, so he doesn't go to 100 all that much. So it's really just right now Cole and Monty that will go to 100. So I mean, I'm with you in that. I just don't want you to blame Monty for tonight.
Which is why they need another starter at the deadline, but we'll get into that
they
shortly.
They need a lot. They need a lot. I don't know if I said this to you in the last show or whoever. I am like more. I want a pitcher. Comma.
We agree on that. Yeah.
Not comma, parentheses. Like I want pitchers / pitchers. You know what I'm saying? More than I want a bat, honestly. Now, ideally, we get both. Like, get me an outfielder and get me some pitchers. But like, honestly, like I'll take like Craig Kimbrell, which they won't do unless you go past the luxury tax. But like two solid relievers over like unless it's Joey Gallo, like I'll take two solid relievers over an outfielder, honestly.
Which Maybe is why sounds crazy. They're not doing it. I mean, listen, we're going to talk about the trade deadline in a little bit. I want to bring up these next couple donos first. Shout out to M them with the $20 dono. Appreciate you. No message attached to that, but I appreciate it still. Absolute legend in the chat. But also we got who else we got? We got Ruben Cruz with another $2 dono. Appreciate you, Ruben. He says Florial has actually done well hitting and fielding. Fielding, I'm going to say no. Like, I completely disagree. Fielding, Esteban Florial looks absolutely lost out there, and I don't think that anyone can kind of say anything different.
No, I mean, he can make, when it comes down to like pure athleticism, he can make those plays. I mean, he had that nice running play earlier in the game today. That was nice.
I'm talking like the IQ.
No, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. Like, that's where he definitely struggles a little bit. I mean, hitting, he's been fine, but like, how good has he actually been hitting? I mean, like, he had the homer and then he had a couple. I mean, the speed is nice. The speed is that. So like when he gets on the bases, like that's where he becomes exciting. But like, I don't look at Florial and like what we've seen and be like, oh, he's a future center fielder of the Yankees. Like, he's gonna get. I feel like Florial, he's bound to get traded at some point. Like he'll be like a May trade next year. He'll be like a Talkman type trade. Speaking
of trades, Dan, good segue here. We're like what? We're 7 days away now from the trade deadline. I believe next Thursday is deadline day, right? Because it's July 30th this year. The Yankees are putting themselves in a weird situation. Now we're kind of getting to the main talking point of tonight's live stream.
Is it not the 31st?
I'm pretty sure they moved it to the 30th this year. That's what everyone in the chat always tells me.
I'll look it up, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Dan just glitched in real life. But listen, kind of talking about the trade deadline here. The Yankees have a really interesting scenario as to kind of what route they're going to be going in. Correct, right? 30th? Dope.
Yep.
So going into tonight, bro, I was almost certain that the Yankees are going to be full out buyers going out for every single top player out there. But I hate to kind of like say that the narrative is going to be changed after like one loss, but like, bro, like what can this team possibly do with the deadline to like completely shift things up? Like it's either they have to go all out and acquire like you said, they have to acquire a pitcher, an outfielder, and a reliever. But I don't see them doing that. So I don't want to see them like half-ass it, go out there and trade for like a Ben Gamel or something and think that that's going to like change the entire like perspective of this team. Because like the next man up mentality is pretty cool and everything. But it's like I just don't see it right now. See any single move that's going to change the Yankees season.
I think they're definitely going to make a move that will be in the buying category. I think
it's going to be like a mega deal, though.
I would say no. I could see it being literally, and I guess it's a crappy answer, but it could be anything like remember the 2014 Brandon McCarthy trade, something like that, where they get started.
We don't need that though.
No, I mean,
we need all or nothing.
No. I'll tell you this. I think it'll be multiple moves, but I would take a 2014 Brandon McCarthy. Give me an innings eater, a guy that will go to 100 pitches and get you like into the sixth inning. I will take that. What I'm saying is I could see it be anything from like a move or two like that, or I really could see them going for like Joey Gallo. And there also were reports today, multiple reports, that the Yankees have talked to the Rockies about Trevor Story's availability. And there was also another report that one team was asking the Rockies or like evaluating Trevor Story's ability to play center field. We don't know who that one team is, but could it be the Yankees? Now that I think would be a horrible move. I would not, if we're getting a center fielder, get me a center fielder. Don't give me Trevor Story to turn him into a center fielder. But I think the Yankees are going to make a move that will get us excited. Put it that way. Whether it's Joey Gallo, whether it's Starling Marte, I think there's going to be a move that like we'll come out of the deadline and be like, okay, you know what, that was a solid move. Like, let's go.
But do you agree with me in the sense of like just acquiring like a Starling Marte isn't going to put this team over the hump in order to like even get to that wild card spot at this point?
What is over the hump though? Like what is over the hump?
Over the hump to be a
World Series contender?
The entire landscape of this team, and the only way you're doing that is going all in or all out. That's bro. You can look at this team right now and tell me that you're a Starling Marte away from making the postseason. You can't tell me that. Just like you named all the holes on this team between the bullpen and the rotation and the lineup, a Starling Marte does not put you over that hump, and you know that.
No, I mean, are you saying Starling Marte alone? Because you know how my stance, bro, is then no, like you're right, because I think we need starting pitching, or like we need pitching in general.
Yeah.
Like we need arms. So like if you tell me like, okay, just Starling Marte alone, like then okay, I'm not getting all that excited. Could they make the playoffs? Yes, they could, because I think they can make the playoffs right now. But would I get that excited about their chances in the postseason? No. But if you told me they got Starling Marte and I'm trying to think of like a starting pitcher, but like just a solid, a decent starting pitcher, like a number 3 or a number 4, well, that changes everything. But like if they get a starting pitcher and Starling Marte, then all of a sudden, bro, I'm like, all right, like we're locked and loaded. Let's go. And the reason I wouldn't want Starling Marte and what I'd want in a starting pitcher we acquire is get guys with control for 2022, because That's what I think you also have to prepare for. Like kind of like the Marcus Stroman deal the Mets did in 2019, right? Where it's like, okay, let's get Stroman and like we're going to try to compete for this year because we do have a talented roster and we think we could possibly sneak in, but we're also going to prepare for the next season as well. That's the kind of move the Yankees should go for. It's like a Mets 2019 Marcus Stroman type deal.
I guess
whoever's out there. I mean, it's tough to even say that. It's almost weak of me to say that without actually having a name right off the bat, But I just hope there's a guy like that out there, because they're not going to get an ace. Like I don't think Max is coming. Like I don't think they're going to go over the luxury. I know, they're definitely not, they're not going over the luxury tax.
Max is going to go somewhere. And the fact that like he's probably, bro, you already know he's going to end up in Houston. Like that's what's end up happening. And like the fact that we're going to see him with the Astros, like that's just going to make me sick because then it just reminds me of like all these years past all over again. In the case of the Yankees could have gone out and acquired that top tier starter that could put them over the hump and push them into like serious playoff contention, but they let him walk to another team in their league. And it just seems like it's the same thing year in, year out for the Yankees, bro. And I don't know how many more years we need to like go through this until the Yankees realize like it's time to stop looking for diamonds in the rough and stop like searching out there for, name like a mediocre start, like a Zach Davies. The Yankees are definitely going to go out there, get Zach Davies from the Cubs, and they're going to like think that he's like this diamond in the rough, this whatever, and they're going to turn him to a top tier starter. And it's stupid and it needs to stop. Go out.
You don't want another J-Happ. You don't want another
exactly.
J-Happ.
Bro, yeah. Exactly. I don't want them to go out and get another J-Happ and act like, damn, season saved now. And then let's say we have to end up using Garrett Cole in a wild card game. Then we have Zach Davies on the mound pitching game 1 of the ALDS. That's exactly what I don't want to happen. So you need to go all out at this trade deadline because, bro, how often do we say this? The window is slowly closing. And I want to win a title with this core. I get it. The Yankees are always going to be in contention. The New York Yankees are always going to be competing for a title no matter who's on the roster. But I want to win a title with Gary Sanchez, with Aaron Judge, with Luis Severino coming back. Bro, this is our team, and you need to be doing every single thing possible right now to win with this core, and they need to start taking things seriously. So go out, get me Joey Gallo. Go out, get me Max Scherzer. I'm pumping myself up right now. I'm setting myself up for disaster.
I'm so with you on that part, bro. And like, this is kind of like a side conversation away for me because like, I am so adamant on obviously extending Aaron Judge and keeping him here for life. But like, I want Gary to be around too. Cause like, you're so right. Like, I want to win with this core. Like, I'm so attached to them. And like, you're right. Like this window of like, I don't know, I guess you say like the 2018 to like 2021, 2022 Yankees, like we are at the tail end of it now. So like, if you do believe this team is a postseason team, which I firmly do believe that, are they going to win the division this year? Like I said, unless they win the next 3 straight against Boston, I'm giving up on that. But I do think this is a playoff team. They can make a wild card spot. And with Garrett Cole, our chances are basically the same as if we won the division because I think we're going to win that wild card game. So if that's the case, if the Yankees believe that as much as I do, then go all in. Like, and I'm not even saying to go out and get Max Scherzer. I guess I should say that, but like, I just feel like it's so unrealistic. Like, they're not gonna do that. I don't want to get my hopes up.
It shouldn't be. Like, no.
I know. But it's like it is, I guess, because like they're just not going to do it. And I, for some reason, let that plant in my mind. Go out and get Joey Gallo. Then, like, go out and get Jose Barrios or something like that. Like, go out and make moves that solidify yourself as having a legitimate shot to win a World Series, and that starts with getting a starting pitcher that can pitch in ALDS Game 1. Because we can't just bank on Luis Severino.
I want a 2017 type deadline. I want the Yankees to go out and do everything possible, bro.
Dude, that was such a good trade. I love how the way the Frazier, Canely, and Robertson trade just immediately changed the way our team was shaped, bro. It was like that was like also, one of the probably the best trade I've ever experienced as a Yankees fan.
Bro, let's not forget the Sonny Gray trade. Like, the Yankees went all out. They acquired, like, the best pitcher available on the Frazier market. And also, let's not forget, like, Sonny Gray, obviously, his time in New York didn't work out too well. But he was a pretty serviceable arm in the Yankees rotation.
Dude, that was the definition of a good trade that just didn't work out. And those happen. Yeah. Like, people say, oh, Sonny Gray was a bad trade. No, it wasn't. It just didn't work out. But I want... Bro, like I'm saying, like
the thing is, they still went all out to acquire him. You know what I mean?
No. I know exactly what you're saying. I'm not like disagreeing with you or anything, but I'm more so pointing towards like the White Sox trade because like that's the kind of deal I want. Like going back to the Starling Marte conversation, like there's no one piece that's gonna like put us over the top, but you can make a trade or 2 or 3 where you get yourself a solid starting pitcher that can give you a quality start. You go out and get yourself an outfielder that changes the way opposing pitchers look at the lineup. You get yourself a reliever that changes your confidence when you're closing a game out in the 9th inning. Like this, and they don't have to be like, you don't have to go out and get Max Scherzer. You don't have to go out and get Craig Kimbrell as much as we'd like to. like you can get pieces that just make the team overall better without spending $30 million. And just hopefully the Yankees can find a way to actually do that.
Yeah, listen, bro. I think we agree on this, but the thing is,
no, we do. Let me say one more thing.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with you. Like, we're on the exact same wavelength here, bro. Like, 100%. It's just like I'm brainwashed in a sense. Not that I agree with the Yankees mindset. It's just like I know they're not going to get Max Scherzer, so I don't even like entertain the conversation of it.
But it
doesn't mean you're wrong in suggesting it. I know it is. It is. No, you're right. You're right.
At some point, like, it has to change. I don't know when it's going to be, but at some point it has to. I want to pull up these couple donos here. Shout out to Miguel Batista with the $2 dono. Appreciate you, Miguel. He says, I want Kimbrel, Hendricks, and Rizzo. Unfortunately, like, this kind of goes back to the same thing that we just said about Scherzer. I would love to see that happen. Do I think it's going to happen, though? No. I don't. Bro, imagine a trade where the Yankees acquired Kimbrel, Hendricks, and Rizzo. That would change the team. That would be like one of those, that 2017 trade where you go out, you acquire Robertson, Canely, and Frazier. This is the exact thing, but the Yankees would never do that nowadays.
That's literally the trade. That's it.
Bro,
like,
that's the trade.
That is so it right there, bro. It really, really is.
What would you have to give up?
No, dude, I wouldn't even worry about that because, like, anybody outside of Jason and, like, both the shortstops, I'm fine with giving up. But
no, I disagree. I'd give up anyone besides Dominguez.
Well, no, but like I'm kind of with you though because I wouldn't want to give up Jason and I'd want to keep one of the shortstop. But whatever team we're like trading with probably wouldn't like ask for both Volpe and Peraza. So like basically Dominguez and either Peraza or Volpe is the kind of like I guess my untouchables list or who I want to keep. But anyways, the big issue would be the financials of that because Hendricks I believe is making like 10 to 14 million depending on the year because he's like signed to the next 4 years, and then Kimbrel he's in the final year of a 3-year 45 million. So what's that like? Is that 15 mil a year? And then Rizzo, I mean he's in the final year of arbitration or extension. I'm not sure. So he's definitely making over 10 mil at least. So I mean like just by that trade right there, like that's what 40 million in salary we'd have to be taking on. So like that's the real like. But I'll tell you this though, like Pat, okay, you can make one trade. Max Scherzer or those three guys right there. And it's
bro, obviously I'm taking the Cubs deal.
I don't want to say, I mean, the way you're talking about Max Scherzer, I mean, it wouldn't be.
I think it's obvious in the sense of you improve multiple aspects of the team rather than just one.
I mean, that's how I would feel too. But somebody could argue it's like, okay, like the one game impact of having Max Scherzer like could be arguable, right? But no, listen, like in terms of the salary, like if that's the kind of trade, I think the Yankees maybe like would possibly go over the luxury tax for. I just don't think it's going to be Scherzer because like the Scherzer alone, if that's the only trade they were going to do, like does that improve the team as much as like a trade like that would? And we're saying no, and I think we're right in that. Like the Cubs trade right there, that example, or a trade like that is the trade. Like that's kind of the move they have to make.
That's the deal.
I know. I don't want to get myself too excited about that. It's so annoying that like we're Yankees fans and we don't want to get excited about something just because of the financials of it. Like it's just not realistic.
But also, listen, shout out to Ruben Cruz with the $5 dono. Appreciate you, Ruben. He says, I agree, Dan. I'm not blaming Monty. I'm blaming the Yanks. But tonight, he's averaging 86 pitches to start, hitting 100 once all year. I'm done now. I mean, I think the Yankees just have a little bit too much faith in their 86. Bullpen. Just how life goes
I mean, and listen, bro, he had some tough luck today with some like, ground balls that found holes. But like, is Lucas Licky, is he falling down on your trust chain or?
No.
I mean, bro.
No.
No, he's not as locked down as I had him before. I mean, since the Angels game, bro,
like compared to what
he's been put in some tough
with.
situations. He's been put into tough situations. Sure. Like, I think what we're finding out with Licky here is he needs a fresh, clean inning. Which did he get one tonight? Was it a clean inning?
I don't remember. I don't.
He relieved.
So.
No, it wasn't because he relieved Solano or whatever. It's Solano, right? Is that his name?
No,
Solano?
Romano.
Romano.
You combine Sal and Romano. Yeah, you're thinking
Solano's
Donovan
the last
Solano.
name too. I know.
Yeah.
But like maybe that's what we're coming to grips here with is that Licky should be a clean inning guy. And that's how a lot of relievers are. Like, that's not a diss on him at all, right? So, I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks like I don't think we've talked about this yet. Chapman seems to kind of be back. Like, besides the nail thing, he actually looked pretty good yesterday. He had some wild pitches himself, but he looked pretty okay. Britton, we got to get him right. Chad Green, still have faith in him. Who else am I forgetting? Sessa has looked good. We're going to get Loaiza back. What, this series, maybe? Are we getting Loaiza back?
He was cleared to come back a few days ago, but I think maybe he's in like a throwing program. I think that's what Cortez is doing as well. I'm pretty sure they sent him down to Tampa for a throwing program. But like we're on the topic of trades, right? So I guess we could talk about a few potential trades within the division that have been going down. We already found out that today the Rays acquired Nelson Cruz, bro, just in time for a series against them next week. You realize he's going to absolutely destroy the Yankees every time we face him, right? Like, he's going to become the new Yankee killer. He's going to, like, become an absolute beast with the Rays once again, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And the Rays got him for essentially nothing. I think they just gave away, their 10th and 17th prospect? That's literally nothing.
Yeah, I'm not, like, a prospect evaluator or anything, but, like, from what I saw on Twitter, like, I guess the Rays apparently fleeced the Twins. But listen, bro, like, I think you're dead on there. And, like, bro, at what point is Nelson Cruz going to age? Because, like, I went to look at his stats today because, like, I haven't really been, like, keeping up in the loop with, like, how Twins players are doing, like, statistically. And, like, I was like, okay, maybe he's finally regressed. Bro, his OPS is over 900. Like, are you kidding me right now, bro? And while we're on the topic of it, and I'm a fan of Nelson Cruz. I got nothing against him. I'm sure I'll start to hate him this year. Bro, like, he could, like, a couple more seasons of this because it doesn't look like he's slowing down at all. We're talking, like, borderline Hall of Famer, bro. He has, like, 436 career homers. Like, he has a couple more Nelson Cruz type seasons, which I know is tough at the age of 41. But once again, he's not slowing down.
He does have the steroids, though.
No, I know. But, like, I feel like people are kind of like, when you just had, like, that one hit, like, that one, like, 50 game, 60 game suspension, whatever it was at the time in 2013, like, people might forget about that. But now that you bring up the steroids, I mean, he hasn't really regressed in a few years. Now that he's on the Rays, I just have to bring it up.
Never bring it up with your head. Cruz is juicing.
He's 42 and he's hitting 40 homers a year. What the fuck?
No, I mean, he has to be tested, like, pretty frequently. Like, I wonder if MLB kind of, like, targets these, like, specific guys. You know what I mean?
But I will say this. The guy that he was, I'm an A-Rod expert. So I'm not even just tooting my own horn here. I'm pretty well-versed in how steroids work and everything. He was a client of Anthony Bosch, and all the Bosch clients, none of them were caught by testing positive because Bosch supplied them with the supplements to get through the positive test to where they're like the minerals of the steroids wouldn't show up. So Cruz could be taking that same thing to where he's not able to get tested positive.
I don't think so, Dan.
Just saying.
I think
I'm not accusing him of that.
No, yeah.
I won't accuse him officially of that until he hits, like, his first, like, go-ahead homer against the Yankees. Then he's a freaking steroid junkie. Go on.
But one thing I did want to kind of bring up here before, like, the next trade possibility that I do want to talk about is the idea of this reminds me of, like, 2019. Remember when the Yankees acquired Edwin Encarnacion just so the Rays didn't get him? Bro, I truly believe that if Giancarlo Stanton, like, played the outfield this year, this was a trade that we would have seen the Yankees easily make just to take him away from the Rays if Stanton wasn't their full-time DH. You do realize that. This is like the typical Yankee move. Go out and just acquire Nelson Cruz just for the hell of it. Acquire, like, that big right-handed bat and prevent the Rays from getting him. But unfortunately, we have Stanton locking up that full-time DH spot, so the Yankees weren't able to do that.
I mean, yeah, but, like, that's a pretty big if, I feel like. Like, yeah, like, that's kind of what the situation is.
But it's not like the sense of, like, Stanton can't play the outfield. We heard Boone say that Stanton will play the outfield at some time in Boston.
Yeah, so but I think it's more so a situation of just like we just don't have a fit for Nelson Cruz. Like, if Luke Voit wasn't around, maybe Cruz could, like, play first base or something. I'm not sure, but, like, yeah, no, I just don't like. We just didn't have a fit for him. So, like, I don't blame the Yankees for not going out and getting him.
No, I'm saying, like, if this was years past.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, like, what the Yankees should do is, are they going to counter it? And that's another thing, bro. Like, the Yankees, they gotta like fight back against that. Like, if you're gonna be a playoff contender, if you're serious about this season, which I think they are, they're going to buy. Like, you got to make legitimate moves because the Rays just made one. Like, the first, that's like the first legitimate trade this year besides Jock. That's bigger than Jock. Yeah,
and Billy McKinney. Don't forget Billy McKinney. But I mean, the other trade possibility that I want to throw out here. We were talking about the Cubs, right? Now the Cubs are definitely going to be selling off. Kimbrel's going to be available. I think they said Rizzo's probably going to be available, but I could see it right now. The Red Sox are going to go out and they're going to make a deal for Kimbrel and Rizzo. They're going to give up absolutely nothing. And we're going to see the Red Sox become absolute, like, juggernauts in the American League East. You're telling me right now that you can't imagine the Red Sox going out there and doing something dramatic at this year's trade deadline?
I do, but they're going to
counter the Rays.
They're going to need starting pitching. I mean, they're kind of in the same boat in a way of, like, with us and Severino. Like, are you going to bank on Chris Sale to come back from Tommy John and, like, be your savior? Because, like, their starting pitching is not all that good. I mean, their bullpen is pretty solid, but, like, I'm not concerned about the Red Sox, like, making noise in the postseason unless they do get, like, an arm or two. So, I mean, like, maybe they could do that Hendricks deal with Kimbrel and then getting Rizzo. Like, that would scare me, right? In terms of, like, them possibly winning a World Series. But, like, that's what they really need to do is go out and get starting pitching.
Yeah, but at this point, bro, it's not even like the Red Sox making damage in the postseason. It's like the fact that they're certainly going to be getting there. Now, whether if that's like them winning the division or the wild card, it's like we need to get over that hurdle in the regular season. It seems like right now the Rays and Red Sox are more concerned like getting over that hurdle in the postseason, but we need to actually get there.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. Whereas like the Red Sox, like they're kind of in a place where we've always been in the past few years of like, okay, you're making a trade for the postseason, not the regular season. So like that's why I say like they need to get starting pitching because I don't see them getting through like a postseason series without doing so. But I mean, Yeah. I don't know what else I was going to say with that, but yeah. Yeah.
I want to bring up a couple more donos here. Listen, shout out to Ruben Cruz with another $5 dono. Appreciate you,
Dude,
Ruben.
Hella donos.
He says the difficult part of Scherzer is that $100 million of his deal is deferred. So would the Yankees be on the hook for that plus the rest of 2021?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Right?
And the main issue would be AAV anyways, because like the problem the Yankees have is with the luxury tax. So like what counts against the luxury tax is the average annual value, which for Scherzer I think is 31 million. So that's really all they worry about is that. Because I mean, because there's no way they could work around it to where they wouldn't go over the luxury tax if they got Scherzer. So I mean, like they wouldn't be worrying about whatever the deferred money is. It would just be that 31 million for this year.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. Like when we talk about like trades and like free agent signings, nothing pisses me off more than when we have to like sit here and talk about like the luxury tax and like all this stupid stuff. Like none of this should matter. You are the New York Yankees. Like I think sometimes we forget this, and obviously like the Yankees don't want to pay like a shit ton in luxury tax, but bro, we're talking about one of the richest franchises in sports. If they're not one, they're definitely two, right? And here we are talking about we can't acquire Max Scherzer in order to get us to the postseason because that's going to put us over the luxury tax threshold. I know it's something that like we talk about all the time, but I think it's something that just never gets old to me that the New York Yankees are working on a budget.
I know. The only positive is that like hopefully this might be the last year of it with the new CBA next year. I guess because the players are really fighting against that because that reduces like salaries and whatnot. So like they're fighting against that and people within the industry, I guess.
Season next year.
Well, yeah, that actually does scare me because it's like such a possibility. But like, if there is a season or whenever baseball comes back, I've read that like insiders expect that the luxury tax will either be like totally gone and they might just bring in like an actual salary cap, or like the luxury tax will be like significantly raised. Like the thresholds will be significantly raised, which that would be a big help. Like the luxury tax, bro. Like imagine if the threshold was raised to like 250 mil, like the first one. That would that would change everything.
I know, but the fact that the Yankees are waiting for that, bro, like. Come on.
I don't know. It's
annoying.
I don't even want to talk about the luxury tax. Just in general. I'm saying I'm not.
No, it pisses me off.
It pisses me off so much to where it's hard for me to even talk about because it's like I know we don't have control over any of this stuff, but it's like that. It feels like even extra in like
no,
it's like
I know
the luxury tax is just like because I don't even know like what is their actual feeling. Like, are they definitely not going to go over? Are they lying when they say they consider it? You know, it's like I don't know.
They're lying. Probably. Listen, shout out to Miguel Batista with the $2 donor. Appreciate you, Miguel. He says Rays are going to call up Mike Ford. Bro, imagine like the Rays 3-4 is Cruz Ford.
He is raking in
Bro,
AAA.
I know. And he's definitely going to come up and absolutely demolish us in Yankee Stadium. You know that for a fact. He's probably grown like a nice little beard. He has that beard action going on most likely. And then he's probably flipping bats, bro. He's probably doing everything that you hate. He's probably skipping around the bases. And I can't wait for him to walk into Yankee Stadium and prove you wrong.
I don't see my Princeton boy doing that non-classy stuff. We don't want that. Listen, they can keep their flashy bat flipping first baseman in Tampa Bay. I don't want him.
So, I mean, if Mike Ford has a beard, he's no longer classy, right?
No. Not until I can grow one. Beards will be in style once I can grow one, which, if you notice, if the lighting is right.
Don't you dare. Dan, don't. You've got to be joking.
If you could reach to the screen right now, bro, you would actually feel stubble, I swear to God. I'm growing a beard. 21 years old, yeah, and I'm finally growing a beard.
You don't have any hair on your face.
Okay. If you felt it, you would know I do.
What? You want me to come there right now and feel your chin?
Next time I'm with you, bro.
It's called peach fuzz, bro.
No, because I
probably have more hair on my arms than you have on your face, bro.
That might be true, but I swear to God, I have to shave once a week now. Like, actually. You can't see because it's blonde.
Hear me out. What? All right. Let's just say, like, the Yankees go on, like, a ridiculous roll. They get within 3 games of the division. Would you grow a rally mustache?
If I could.
You can't?
No. Mustache, that's out of the question. Like, my dad doesn't even have that. But listen, here's my thing. No, but here's my thing. Because, like, on some real shit, like I actually could like grow some like somewhat stubble, but it look atrocious, I think. So I'm gonna wait till like no shave November, so that way I have like an excuse. It's like, oh, like why wouldn't you shave that? It's like it's no shave November, bro. Like that's why. So I'm gonna wait till then to try and see what it looks like to experiment. But as for the mustache, like I have nothing there, bro. Like that is peach fuzz. Well, actually,
have you ever shaved your upper lip?
Actually, I think I do have a mustache going in.
Dan,
yeah, I will. No, I will. I will shave my upper lip just for like the old myth. Like if you shave more, like it'll grow in.
I don't know if that's
why do you think I shave my legs all the time? Not kidding.
Moving on here.
That is actually true, but go on.
So, Dan, listen, the Yankees now have 3 more games against the Boston Red Sox here. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, going into this series, I had one biggest fear, and it was that the Yankees were going to walk in and get absolutely demolished by the Red Sox. Because it's just kind of, it seems like that's how the season's gone by so far, right? You walk into Boston, they won, 4 straight. You were coming off a great sweep of the Phillies. I know it was only a 2-game series, but still, you took 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox in Yankee Stadium. But it would be the most 2021 Yankees thing ever to walk into Boston and get swept by the Red Sox. Would it not be? So that's my biggest fear going into the series. And now we're like 3 more losses away from that happening.
Bro, it like just hit me again that the Yankees lost tonight. Like I actually forgot about it, which I guess is a compliment to this show for making me feel better, but like it hit me again. That sucked. Dude, that really sucked, and I cannot believe they lost that game. But
you hear what I'm saying here?
No, I know. We just got to try to split. We got to split. And like,
I'll
say this. We have to win tomorrow. We have to win tomorrow. And then what do we got? We got Tyone the next day, and then Herman. Whatever it is, it's Tyone and Herman the next 2 days after Cole tomorrow. So we have to win tomorrow, and then just somehow come out with a series split in the next 2 days. Which, listen, all of a sudden, not to be Mr. Optimistic, we win tomorrow, and then if we can come away with a victory on Saturday somehow, then it's like the Sunday game we'll be able to watch, like almost playing with house's money a little bit, where it's like, okay, we got the split. And let me just say this. If we can secure a split this series, then that would mean we would have gone 6-3 while Judge, Gio, Loaiza, all of them had COVID. So, I mean, that right there would be a W alone. So try to split. And if we can win tomorrow, win Saturday, then Sunday's game, we get to watch that. And it's like, okay, if we win, that's amazing. We win 3 out of 4. And if we lose, we already split. So that's my optimistic view on things.
Call me crazy, Dan. I say that that this series will be an absolute failure if the Yankees don't win the next 3.
Well, yeah, but it also depends, like, in what.
It's as simple as that, bro. I mean, going into this series, I said the Yankees had to win at least 3 out of 4.
No, you're right. In terms of the division, like chasing.
No, in terms of just like life, bro.
No, if
you
you're
need
talking
to
like
walk into Boston and win
wild card hopes. Wild card hopes. You need to split. You need to split.
Yeah, but bro,
if you want to win in the division, yeah, 3 out of 4. But if you want to
I'm talking momentum wise.
Well, no, I mean at this point, because if we come away with a split, then momentum is on our side. Because at that point, like we would have won 2 out of 3 if you want to like frame it that way. So like, I don't know. I mean, it would suck.
It's a weird situation.
Anything worse than splitting would suck. Absolutely suck. If you want to go for the division still, you have to win the next 3 to 4. If we don't take the next 3 to 4, to me, the division is over. But if you split, by no means is the season over. And I actually would say the momentum is on our side because, we would have taken 2 out of the last 3 games we played.
But why I'm kind of saying that the Yankees needed like 3 out of 4? Only because like after this, like you still need a good amount of momentum to carry into the Tampa series, bro. I wish we could have like seen the Yankees start a ridiculous hot streak right now. We saw them win 4 straight, and it's possible that this team could like still be hot moving forward. But it seems like they never rebound well after these brutal losses. Like I know like a lot of people want to throw it out there like, oh Pat, like they still won what? How many games out of how many games have they won? I know they won 4 straight, but what? Probably like
going
6 out of their last 7?
It was yeah, but I know there were 8 of the last 11, I think, coming into today.
Okay, they won 8 of their last 11 games. But I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really care because how many times have we seen that this season and then followed up by like a 5-game losing streak or like losing 5 out of your next 6?
No,
so, like,
dude, that's why
at some point this team has to show consistency. And I don't care about the excuses that like we're playing right now without Judge and Gio. There's no excuse like for Tyler Wade, a major league infielder, to not be like making ground balls. Like, you know what I mean? That should be easy double plays. There's no excuses for Gleyber Torres to let balls roll under between his legs. There's no excuse for Brooks Kriske not being able to throw like 3 pitches, not like bouncing in the dirt 3 times. At some point, this team needs to like stop being on the pity pot and actually like start performing. It's as simple as that. I don't care who's on the field. You need to perform.
I'm with you, bro. And that's why this next week or so is going to be like very telling for 1, just to see if they're going to like, take that 2 steps back they've taken before. And 3, you see that comment? That's hilarious. And 3, for the fact of like, it's the week going up to the trade deadline. So like, it is going to be very telling. Do you want to bring up that comment? Because that actually made me laugh. That was funny.
This one right here from Douglas?
That actually made me crack up a little bit. But listen, let me just clarify. Speaking of this, because a lot of people are taking what I'm saying in terms of like saying like, oh, the division is like not over if we split. I've like given up on the division. What have I been saying this whole time, Pat? I've been saying I'll let them surprise me, not disappoint me. Like the division to me is over. I'm focusing on the wild card. So yes, by no means, if we split, is the season over in terms of the wild card. By no means is the wild card race over for the Yankees if they split the series with Boston. Division, yes, absolutely. Because to me, it already kind of is unless they take the next 3 games. Does that make total sense?
Yeah.
I feel like that makes
total sense, but I think it's the sense of like a lot of people, like especially me, like I can't come to the realization that the Yankees might have to settle for a wild card spot this year. Like,
get used to it, bro. Because in a way, like that's what it is. Like we've had this season. It's not like it's like May anymore, bro. Like this is like what 4 months into the season. Like this is what this is.
It came really quick.
No, but and I think it's true. Like we have PTSD with the wild card, and I understand that because like the wild card situation, yes, it does suck. It's the most stressful 2 days leading up
and
to
we'll
it
be on the
of
road.
Our lives. No, that's not exactly a guarantee. If we get in, if we get in there, because I mean, I think I could be totally wrong. I think the 2 wildcard spots are separated within like a couple games. So maybe we could.
No, I think the Rays have like a 3-game lead on the first wildcard spot.
Do they? Do they actually? Okay, whatever. Let's just say we're on the road. The situation is entirely different than 17 and 18. Do I have to mention why for like the millionth time? Why is this year's wildcard game different than past years? The ones with Luis Severino on the mound compared to who?
Because we have Garrett Cole.
Yes, because we have Garrett Cole. To me, I'm looking at it as our ticket is punched to the ALDS. We're facing, I mean, yes.
Yeah, but then who starts game 1 of the ALDS, Dan?
I don't care. Get me there. Now, we have to make a trade. No. We have to make a trade to get that starter, yes. But get me to the ALDS, and then, like, I'll be stressed about who's starting that game, if that makes sense. Garrett Cole, I feel like, will punch our ticket to the ALDS. I'm trusting that.
All I know is that you have to get to that wild card game first. It's not like the wild card is a sure thing. It's not like, bro, it's not like a 2018 situation whatsoever where like the Red Sox are just having like a historic season. We just can't catch up to them, even though we're doing really good too. It's like the Yankees are just not like performing like a good baseball team. They're not performing like a postseason team right now, bro. Even in 2018, wait.
No, you can't say they're not performing well. Like it's one game. We watched them lose one game. Pat, how many series in a row have they won?
No, I'm saying, Dan, right now, I can't look at this Yankees team and say that they're a postseason team. I just can't. I get like they've overachieved a bunch, but I can't look at a lineup and saying like Tyler Wade, Greg Allen, all these guys that like are fun to watch. I can't say that they're gonna bring us to the postseason. It's cute. It's cute right now, but it's not happening.
Pat, I mean, I agree with you on that, but like we can't even discuss that because like this isn't like this isn't ideal. It's a COVID shit. You
can't say that the team we've seen this season is a postseason team. They haven't been.
You're the one that just brought up Tyler Wade and Greg Allen. So I mean, like that's. But why are you bringing that up in terms of this team? Because that's not this team. You can blame like Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Luke Voit, Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, but they haven't performed all season anyway. So now I'm looking at the team that we currently have on the field.
Blame them. Okay, but. Like you can't look at Tyler Wade as like they're around for the next like few days. I mean, Greg Allen, like I said, I wanted to be like our starting center fielder.
No, I like him too. I'm just throwing him out.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm saying like the COVID next man up 2.0 stuff. Like that's not what our current roster is going to be. Yes, the remainder of the Boston series, that's what we're going to have to deal with. But like the guys currently on the roster right now, with ideally 1 or 2 solid additions, yes, that's a postseason team to me, or a team that's capable of getting into the postseason, securing a wild card spot, and then Garrett Cole can get us into the ALDS. And let me just clarify on what I was saying before. Like you can't say this team is like not performing well. You could say this year has been very disappointing, and for the most part, they haven't performed well. But bro, dating back to what, like 3 weeks now, we've played solid baseball. And you could even go before then that if it weren't for our shitty ass bullpen, that we've been playing even better baseball on paper because they've blown leads, going back to like the Angels series and even the Red Sox series as well. So I mean, like go back Mariners series, Astros series, Red Sox series, Phillies series. That's 4 straight series victories. And yes, we just lost 1 game against the Red Sox.
I'm going to tell you what though. I don't care. I don't care how they've been in their last 4 series because we're looking at a team. What do you care about then? Bro, because we're looking at a team who since the beginning of April has been the definition of inconsistency. I've never seen a more inconsistent Yankees team in my life. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really care that they've won their last 4 series because in the whole grand scheme of things, that means nothing because I'm looking at the entire big picture here. And I'm looking at a team where I think that they're probably going to get worse once Luke Voit comes back. Once they throw Wandy Peralta back in the bullpen, they're going to use him in high leverage situations. And once we blow past the trade deadline and watch every other team in the American League get better, and the Yankees are probably going to sit back and do nothing. Well, that's why I'm being negative looking at this team right now because I don't see them getting better.
Okay, so here's what it comes down to, and you've been consistent with this, so I'm not like dissing. Like you don't think the Yankees are going to do anything at the deadline?
No, I don't.
Basically, right? Okay,
just because I'm looking at like trends from years past.
No, I understand that, but I'll tell you what the difference is this year. I think the Yankees. The past few years going to this year, or like before this year, they believed in their team at least to make the postseason because it's always been like a sure thing. Now, like that's where the Yankees may kind of put their foot down and be like, okay, we need to make a trade because we're not going to miss the postseason. In past years, it's okay, we are definitely going to make the postseason, and we think we probably have a pretty good shot at getting a World Series. Now, the conversation isn't World Series, it's are we even going to make it to the playoffs? So that's where like the sense of urgency comes in. And that's why I do think there is going to be like a trade or two, and you just don't. Also, so that's where the difference is here.
Dan, mentally, I just don't think this team is there. Like going into like the postseason in years past, I had so much faith in like the back end of our bullpen to like close out games, right? Can you imagine like this Yankees team trying to close out a postseason game, even if we had like a 4-run lead? I would be sweating bullets. Who are we going to be throwing out there to save games in a postseason? Like, let me know.
I mean,
who are you trusting?
I do trust. I trust Chad Green. I trust. At points, I trust Aroldis Chapman when he's on. When he's not on, I don't. I mean, listen, Pat. What have I been saying this whole show? We need to go out and get
question
pitching.
Mark after question mark in that bullpen right
No,
now.
I understand, but you're also you're being, I think, a little bit recency bias right here. Like you're coming off the loss, and I can tell it's like affecting you. And I'm not saying like I understand that's like your overall point, and like, I think you're true by that. But it's like
loss. It's a trend of the entire season where they take 2 steps forward and then another step back.
From that point, yes, but if you want to talk trends, like one game doesn't mean we're not trending up right now. I still do think we're trending up, and we're going to be trending even more up when we get, regardless of how we feel about like the squad before the next man up 2.0 guys, Aaron Judge and Gio Urshela coming back to this team, that is going to be a bonus. The one guy I think might be like somewhat of a subtraction, and I don't even know why I feel this way, but I do. Luke Voit, and like I can't even put my finger on it, bro. And it's nothing against him personally. It's just that like, and I've said this before when I wanted to trade him to get Lindor back in the offseason. Luke Voit, he's a replica of guys that we already have multiple of. And the other guys that we have aren't going anywhere. Aaron Judge isn't going anywhere. Giancarlo Stanton, he can't go anywhere. Gary Sanchez, he's not going anywhere, and rightfully so. Luke Voit, he's the one guy that is expendable, and with him coming back, like that may kind of change, or at least like return this team back to the team that it was like a couple months ago or a month ago or so, where they're slow, boring, not energetic, not exciting. So I feel like that's the thing I would be kind of nervous about is once Voit comes back. And it still sounds so crazy to say that, but like, let's not be fooled here. Aaron Judge coming back and Gio Urshela coming back, that is going to be a big boost to a team that is playing well, whether your recency bias wants to admit it or not.
Dan, I just want to wrap up this conversation by saying this. I don't think that my opinion about the Yankees right now is recency bias, because if you asked me this yesterday, I probably would have told you the same thing. I'm looking at a team right now that's sure, they've overperformed in the last few weeks or so, right? Especially before the All-Star break. But I'm just looking at the roster as it's currently constructed. And I think this is the only place where we differ in the sense, why you look like.
No, I'm sorry. I'm being dramatic, but no, Andrew Allen just brought up another thing too. I talk about Judge and Urshela coming back, and we're talking about faith in the bullpen. Jonathan Loaizaga, bro. No, imagine if it's not for COVID, him being on.
Let me give this point before I forget.
I know. I didn't even mean to interrupt you, which I actually wasn't doing. Which
you look like the Yankees just traded for Max Scherzer. But no, kind of what I'm saying here is I'm looking at the Yankees team who, while they have overperformed as of late, especially missing a few of their top guys, I think that without key additions to this roster, even while it's possible that they do make a second wildcard spot, I can't see this team going deep into the postseason without making a huge addition. And that's the only place where we differ, right? Personally, I don't believe that the Yankees are going to be doing anything drastic at the trade deadline, even though I want them to. And you, on the other hand, think that they will do something drastic at the deadline and will
you're right at the part about before, but by no means do I think that we're going to go deep into the postseason if we don't make a move or two. We don't have any pitching.
No, I'm really saying that you're counting on the Yankees to make a move, and that's why you're confident in them going deep in the postseason. That's where we differ, because I just don't see it out. I think that they're going to look at Severino, they're going to look at Kluber and being we're getting our guys back. You know what I'm saying?
I keep forgetting about Kluber. Just because that interview rubbed me the wrong way.
I know.
Just his nonchalant answer, when I think it was Meredith, she was like, do you have a timetable when you'll be back? And he was like, no, not really.
He's just so chill, for no reason. Yeah. Listen, shout out to Blake R with the $5 donor. Appreciate you, Blake. He says Yankees have to go get a piece or two at the deadline. They can't waste all of Garrett Cole's elite seasons of this massive deal. I think that's another thing too. We talk about this core all the time. We talk about we talk about Gary, we talk about Judge, we talk about whatever. I think a lot of us forget Garrett Cole is under contract for 9 years, but we're only expecting him to be elite for the first 4 or 5. So it's I want to win a World Series with prime Garrett Cole with our ace. Who knows who our ace is going to be after Garrett Cole? You know what I mean? So go out there, capitalize on this team that you have now, because I truly think that you're 3 pieces away in each of the key departments: a starter, a reliever, and a big bat, from actually making serious damage this year. And I think it's as simple as that. Now, will the Yankees do it or not? I guess we'll see.
I'm with you.
But Dan,
I'm with you.
I think that is going to be wrapping things up for episode 9 of the Pat and Dan Show. If you have anything else to say, speak now or forever hold your peace.
I mean, I don't have anything else to say, bro. I think that was a fun show, and the fact that it made me forget about that loss for a little bit was, I guess, a good thing. Although, like now, it's like I have post-show clarity. I guess is that the way to put it?
For some reason, I'm more pissed off now than I was in the beginning of the show. I don't know why. I think I'm just tired of these brutal losses.
I'm just like, if I just want to split, please.
I'm tired of the heartbreak.
We need, dude. Cole needs to show up tomorrow, and I feel bad in a way saying that because like he's been so good the last couple starts. But like you gotta come back to Fenway and just be like, yo, like F this BS. Like I'm not a 6-run pitcher or whatever he gave up, and just like shove. Give me 7 innings, 1 run, 2-run ball.
It's gonna be huge to see how the Yankees rebound from tonight. I think that their season kind of weighs on how they play in these next 3 games against the Red Sox. It's going to be
unless they get swept. I disagree.
I'm talking mentally, Dan. I want to see how this team can rebound from brutal losses.
But what is okay? Not to freaking open the show entirely back up again, but like, what is your rebounding? Is what taking next 3? Because to me,
I say just splitting at this point. Yeah, splitting.
Yes.
I want to see this team actually rebound and not just like after tonight, just like keel over and die to the Boston Red Sox, because that would be the worst thing possible, especially because the momentum that they had coming in. But before we do wrap things up, shout out to Cool Roger with the $5 donor. Appreciate you. He says Yankees should be sellers. Get ready for next year and don't re-sign Boone. To each his own, I guess. To each his own. But with that being said, chat, that is going to wrap things up for episode 9 of the Pat and Dan Show. Everyone, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. We're going live for the Pat and Dan Show every single Monday and Thursday. If it's an off day, we're going live at 9 p.m. If it is a Yankee game, we're going live after the game. Stay tuned for that. If you guys don't subscribe to Dan, subscribe to Yankees Avenue. Bro, great stuff going on over there. But you guys know, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. I'm going live before and after every single Yankees game this season. Tomorrow's pregame will be at 5 p.m. Eastern time instead of 6 p.m. So mark that down on a little post-it note, snap it on your computer. 5 p.m. for the pregame tomorrow, not 6 p.m. You guys know the deal. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. We'll see you all next time. Peace.